Okay, so today we are here with Anya Freeman, which we were outside earlier and it was crazy and we got to explore the shop, which is so impressive, so impressed by you. I can't believe it. When you said you started March 2024, I was shocked because you've grown so fast. Tell us how it started and what gave you the idea. What was your inspiration? How did you get here?
Sure. So originally I'm not from Florida. I'm not even from the US. I'm actually from Ukraine. I grew up in Israel and I got the opportunity to come to your beautiful country when I was already in high school because my dad got a job with the space program. Oh. And so he got a special talent visa. My whole family got to come to USA and we were just extremely excited to become US citizens and really, really wanting to make the most of that opportunity. So my parents' kind of mandate for the kids was that my brother was supposed to go to medical school, become a doctor.
I was like doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Exactly.
That's all you get.
Exactly. Or my option was also I could marry any of those two.
Yeah.
So I could either become a lawyer or marry a lawyer. That's at least I have more options than my brother. Anyways, that's how I ended up in Miami because I got a scholarship to study at UM Law School.
Oh, yeah.
And so I arrived here and I just fell in love with the city because like me, people here are from all over the world. There's so many cultures and languages. It's so vibrant. I felt right at home. And I did finish law school. I started working as a lawyer and I had a great career, fun life as we all do, in your 20s in Miami. Yes. But then I started to notice that my hometown, this beautiful city, had a huge problem with flooding. Obviously, you living here, every year the storm surges are much more intense, the storm surges are much more frequent, and what annoyed me is there's a lot of conversation around this problem of rising sea levels and this problem of flooding, but the narrative is always doom and gloom. People love to write books and articles about how horrible it is to be in a coastal city. We're all going to be underwater by 2060, they say, is a deadline.
Yeah, but I think we were supposed to be underwater like 50 years ago,
That's true. Before that, we were supposed to freeze to death. So the narrative that's being told around flooding is that it's basically doom and gloom.
Yeah.
You have to be crazy to invest in real estate in coastal cities. We're all going to be underwater, and there's nothing you can do. And that annoyed me. I just think it's a really boring conversation.
It's hopeless. Like, okay, well, how do we fix it?
And just standing on a soapbox complaining about it is not going to fix it. And so 2 years ago, to my parents' great disappointment, I left behind my legal career and decided to start Kind Design. So the idea of, number one, finding that solution for my hometown. Number two, build a solution that was extremely affordable. So it was scalable, duplicatable, so we can bring it to every coastal city at risk. Because globally, there's 507 cities at risk from flooding and rising sea levels in the next 15 years. And number three, because we're lucky enough to build something in the water, we wanted to make it amazing for marine habitats. And so put together the team. We got funding. I raised a $5 million round last year. Mark Cuban backed us.
Oh, yes.
Which created a lot of excitement.
Yes.
We're very lucky. And with that, I was able to bring in super experts in the field of 3D printing, material science, and marine biology. And we started looking into seawalls because seawalls have always been the first line of defense to flooding. And the interesting thing,
they just keep raising them.
Exactly. The interesting thing about seawalls is that there has never been any innovation with this product. The first seawall we installed in the U.S. was in Galveston, Texas in 1905.
I used to have a beach house there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm from Houston originally. Yeah,
so you probably have seen this, walk along the seawall.
I know that seawall.
And that seawall is almost exactly the same seawall that we're installing in places like Florida today. No innovation in over 100 years. And the problem, in itself, that's not a problem, of course, except that there are two problematic things about traditional seawalls. One, they're extremely expensive. And in fact, they're cost prohibitive for a lot of people who live on the water, especially globally. 40% of the global population that lives directly on the water is below the poverty line. So they actually can't afford to put in and then maintain coastal infrastructure that keeps them from flooding. So the price is the first problem. The second problem is that regular seawalls destroy marine habitats for two reasons. One, regular seawalls are leaching chemicals into the water. And the second reason is that they're flat. So before there was a seawall, there's a lot of fish, biodiversity, a lot of organisms living by the coast. Once you put in that flat wall, now they have nothing to anchor to attach to during storm events. So they all migrate and no one is left to eat the toxins in the water. So in the US alone, between today and 2040, in the next 15 years, we're going to destroy 50,000 miles of marine habitats. That's like driving from Miami to Galveston, and Miami to Galveston back 17 times.
Wow.
And so we thought, how do we come up with a seawall that's more affordable? And what if instead of destroying marine habitats, what if the seawall in itself was a marine habitat? And that's how we came up with this idea of 3D printing living seawalls.
So amazing. So incredible.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, and the next thing you did was, okay, well, there's already these existing seawalls, so how do we solve that problem, right? So you also have that where you created tiles that you can talk about the biomimicry. I know we talked about it outside, but it's louder out there, so we'll talk about it in here too.
Sure. So we started with seawalls, and like the bread and butter of kind designs is my sole obsession in life, literally, is seawalls and transforming them into essentially artificial reefs. And that has been going extremely well, but a lot of people reached out and said, I just put in a seawall. I don't want to redo construction, put in a brand new seawall, but what can I do to transform my existing wall into something that's more of a marine habitat?
Yeah.
And that's how we came up with this secondary product, which is living seawall tiles. It's basically like wallpaper for your existing seawall to transform it into a marine habitat through the biomimicry design.
That's really cool, really cool. So I came across Anya through mutual friends, and I was able to go take a video of the first ever installation in Broward County and in Fort Lauderdale. And so now you're in Broward officially and in Fort Lauderdale, and we're super excited to have her there. So obviously we have, I think, 300 miles of seawall.
Can be. Miami Beach has 5 miles.
Okay. Some with intercoastal, with canals, with everything. It's
you think it's 300? That'd be good.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna look that one up. We're gonna have to get.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but I could have swore I've seen that stat before.
I can't believe it, because nationally it's 50,000 miles over the next 15 years will be redone. So I can't believe that place in Fort Lauderdale has 300.
Well, yacht capital of the world, and then you have all of those canals and all of those. So I'm thinking that I have. We'll double check that number and make sure. What are your bigger goals? Not that this goal is not already achieved and big, but I know you have bigger goals.
Yes, number 1, to become the first female unicorn in Miami. So Miami has never had a unicorn that's been founded by a woman. In all of Florida, they've had 1 female unicorn, and she's in Orlando.
Really?
Yes. And it's really important for Miami because Miami's trying to transform its identity from a place where people just go and have fun and spend money at the nightclubs, which you can still do that.
Yes.
But it's also so important for our city to continue attracting talent, continue to attracting investors by showing that companies like ours can thrive, they can build something massive, and they can generate a huge return for their investors to pave the way for many more startups to come to Miami and make it their home. So that's super exciting for me, but specifically the female part of it is exciting to really normalize that women can do it too, because I think women are told so often only 2% of VC funding goes to women, and I think it's really disempowering to actually.
Really?
Yes, it
2%.
It is true, but actually I think it's disempowering to keep telling women that, because then they're less likely to go for it. If they're being told before they even begin that it's going to be so hard or almost impossible for you, then they're less likely to take that risk. So I want to succeed to show that it's definitely possible to transform the identity of Miami by becoming the first female unicorn in the next 5 years. So that's financial goal. It kind of, I wouldn't say goal, it's inevitable certainty.
Yes.
We're going to be there in 5 years.
Yeah.
Second is to not only continue putting in living seawalls all over the United States, but really actually make it a mandated product. It doesn't have to be kind designs living seawalls. I think through our success, other companies will come into the space of living shorelines and living seawalls. But by showing that we can produce and install seawalls that are exponentially better for marine habitats, that dissipate waves, improve the quality of water and are so beautiful for the community, and they're actually cheaper than traditional toxic seawalls, and then there is no reason to keep putting those other seawalls in the water. So my secondary goal is for living seawalls to become the gold standard in every single coastal city in the United States and across the world in the next 10 years.
So there are some cities and counties that are starting to support that, right? And they're not making a mandate, but they are giving some benefits to, if somebody's wanting to install one of the living seawalls, then they can get discounts on their permits and things like that. You've had that support. You can tell us about that. I know Ben Sorensen, the commissioner where we are in Fort Lauderdale, he is trying to make that happen, but you've actually achieved it in a couple other places. That's exciting.
I attribute so much to our momentum and our early success to local leaders in government. We are so lucky to have their support, and that has been the case in many South Florida cities, like the county of Miami Dade has been amazing, city of Miami Beach, city of Miami, city of Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and they are supporting the Living Seawall product because it's creating a benefit for the whole coastal community. So when you put in a living seawall, it's improving the quality of water for all your neighbors. And the wave dissipation helps all your neighbors as well.
Explain wave dissipation.
Sure. So when you put in a flat seawall and a wave hits that seawall, it actually reflects the wave energy. So the wave goes across the canal, it goes to the neighbors, it overtops the seawall.
Yes.
When you put in a living seawall, because of the biomimicry design and all the organisms that are attaching to the seawall, it actually absorbs the wave impact. So on average, our very first seawall design absorbs 47% of the wave energy.
Wow.
So half the wave energy is immediately dissipated upon contact with the seawall.
And you knew that when you started?
I had no idea. Seriously, it was like a really happy coincidence. I found out. I was just focused on biomimicry design. How do we make the seawalls mimic local marine habitats to attract native species? But then after we won the Air Force grant, the Navy grant, and we started doing a lot more R&D, I found out that this is a great selling point that it also dissipates waves. And not only that, but now that we have those results and we have the input from the universities, we've been able to maximize the design. For example, instead of having straight mangrove roots, the roots are now more organic, so that when the wave hits it, it distorts the path of the wave and it will dissipate even more wave energy.
Oh, that's so cool.
So I did not know when I started out.
Anyone who has been on the intracoastal waterways understands the impact of that wave going back and forth and hitting the seawall side by side, and it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy in there. And there's a lot of different things that impact the waterways, not just flat seawalls, so, but this is just such a great beginning. It's such a good thing. How'd you come up with the name?
Actually, I used to have a different name. No one liked it. The original name was the Addition Company.
Oh,
so my inspiration, of course, was the Boring Company.
Okay.
And the Addition Company was because 3D printing is also called additive manufacturing.
Oh.
So, but I had to explain that to everybody.
Yeah, so there wasn't common knowledge. Kind Design, I love the name.
The Kind Designs is really about the intersection of technology and the impact.
Yeah.
Although now people are saying it's too confusing, it's not clear what we do, and they're trying to change the name again.
Oh no.
I think I must stick with it. I like Kind Designs.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just because I know it, then I know what it is.
Exactly.
So.
After a while, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it will.
Knows it.
After a while. I think starting just in March 2024 and to be at the point that you are right now, like everyone will know what it is.
Thank you. We hope so.